Hey guys, I am Amit Kumar and welcome to this video in which we are going to talk about creating classes and objects. This is part 2. So now once the class is ready, we can create objects for the class. The syntax for creating an object of the class looks like this. Now the first statement over here where we will specify the class name, the object name and a semicolon is an object declaration statement. And the next syntax over here is for object instantiation, where we specify the object name equal to new keyword, class name, pair of parentheses and a semicolon. Now what's the difference between object declaration and object instantiation? We are going to discuss about it in a few minutes. But after the syntax, it's clear that we can create as many objects as possible for the class. Now each object or the instance of the class will have its individual copy of the data members, but it will share the copy of the member methods. And we need to use the dot operator to access the member of a class from the object. Now object declaration only declare the object but doesn't create any space in memory for it. Hence, these objects can't use any members of the class and throws an exception if tries to do so. The exact syntax of object creation looks like this, where you can see the object declaration is as we have discussed earlier. But in the object instantiation, you can see instead of class name, I have written constructor over here. Now we will discuss the class constructor later on. And these two statements can be written in one single line as well, like this. But for now, we can say that the name of the constructor of a class is the same as the name of the class itself. So if you are confusing with this constructor, you can simply say we will write down the class name again. But I have written constructor over here just to specify that this is not a simple class name, it's something else which we will discuss later down the line. So if only object is declared and not instantiated and we try to access the member of the class, then definitely it will throw an exception because object declaration will not have any memory space, and as it will not have any memory space, it will not have any data member or any member method, and hence we are unable to call them. So this constructor and new keyword is essential so that a space for the data members and the member methods should be taken in the memory, and then definitely after the object instantiation we can call those members. Now let's try to understand whatsoever we have learned till now with the help of an example. Let's suppose I have created this class like here, where I created an ABC class where I created 3 data members A, B and C. All 3 of them are integers, and I have created accept, add and show member methods. Accept method is accepting 2 integer values and assigning to the 2 data members A and B. Add method is adding those A and B and storing the result in C. And show method is showing the value of A, B and C. Now definitely this class is just a blueprint, and to access these member methods or to access these members we need object. So let's create an object for them. And for that I created a new class program, and inside the run method you can see I have created obj1 and obj2 as 2 different objects of the same class. You can notice the syntax I have used over here. I have specified the class name, object name equal to new keyword and the class name again with a pair of parentheses. So definitely I have declared and instantiated both these objects. Now both these objects are calling the accept, add and show method, but obj1 is passing 10 and 20 and obj2 is passing 100 and 200 to the accept method. Now as I told you, both these objects will have their individual copy of data member. So obj1 and obj2 will have their individual A, B and C. So obj1 will have its own A, B and C, and obj2 will have its own A, B and C. But both these objects will share a common space for member methods. So accept, add and show will be shared by both these objects. Now what will happen when obj1 is calling the accept? Because accept is assigning value to A and B. But there are two A and B over here. There are two A and two B. Where this 10 and 20 will be assigned? Now it depends on which object is calling the accept. So if obj1 is calling the accept method, then 10 and 20 will be assigned to A and B referred by obj1. Similarly, when obj2 will call the accept, the 100 and 200 will be assigned to A and B referred by obj2. Definitely, the same applies to add and show. So when the add method is called with the obj1, then A and B of obj1 will be added and result will be stored in C of obj1, and hence obj1c is 30 and obj2c is 300. And finally, when the show method is called by obj1, the ABC, that is 10, 20, 30 will be printed, and when obj2 will call the same show method, 100, 200 and 300 will be printed. So it's pretty much of talk, and now it's time to see the things practically. So guys, here we are on our developer console, and let's create a class to understand how to create a class and how to create an object for it. Now we are going to create a student class, and we are going to create few data members and member methods inside that student class. So let's do that. So guys, here you can see I have created a student class over here. Now this student class is having few data members. Now an integer data member, admission number, a string data member as name, a decimal type of array named as marks, two more decimal variables or two more decimal data members, total and percentage, and one final string data member, division. Adding on that, I have also created three member methods over here: admit, calculate and show result. Now the admit method is actually accepting three parameters and assigning values of these three parameters to the admission number, name and marks data member. The calculate member method is adding the marks by looping over the array with the help of this for loop and adding marks of each element of the array to this total. We are calculating the percentage by dividing the total marks with the number of elements in the array. So if there are 5 marks or there are 5 elements in the array, definitely the marks.size method will return 5 and it will do total divided by 5 and returning the percentage in the percentage variable, assuming each subject is of 100 marks. According to the percentage value, if percentage is greater than equals to 60, it will store first division in the division variable. If it is greater than equals to 50, it will store second division. If it is greater than equals to 40, it will store third division. Otherwise, it will store fail. And you can notice that we have used if-else-if ladder for performing this task. Finally, in the show result member method, we are showing the result. So it will print the student name and then result. So if the student name is Amit Kumar, it will print Amit Kumar result. Then this for loop will print marks of each subject along with subject number. And here you can see we are using index to access each element of the array. For printing the subject number, we have used index +1 because the array index starts from 0. After printing marks of each subject, it will print the total marks obtained, the percentage of the student and the division. So this is how this blueprint of the student is ready. Now definitely this can't be executed directly. It will not have any physical existence. For that we need to create object of this class, and as you know, we can create as many objects as we want. So let's create another program where we will create objects of this class. So guys, here you can see I have created 3 objects, to stud1, stud2 and stud3 of student class. Then I called admit method for each object by passing different admission numbers, different student name and different marks with the help of this decimal array. Then I call the calculate method for each object to calculate total marks, percentage and division for each object. And then I called the show result for each object to show the result of each student. So guys, let's run this program and see the output. To run this program, we will name the class, that is student program, and then we will call the run method. And let's click on execute. So guys, you can clearly see it is printing result for each student object. Here you can see student name result, subject number along with marks in that subject, marks obtained, percentage and the division for that student object. And it is doing it for all the student objects over there. So guys, that marks the end of this video. See you soon in the next video. Till then, thank you and take care.